Hey guys, what's up? My name is Ashley Koyman, and this is me doing my happy dance when I found the most amazing campsite. I wanted to show you guys how to make some hot tea, what it's like to do nothing, and just show you what a few more things are like in this life. I'm really excited. I just found some hops growing in the wild. So that is what beer comes from. That's what it looks like before it is used to make the beer. But I'm going to try and figure out if there's a recipe I can make with these or if fresh hops are edible. So I'm going to start doing some research and find out. But they smell really good too. I love foraging and finding stuff while I travel. So I'm going back to fill this container with some hops and I'm going to dry them and then use them to make tea because I did a little research and you can actually make tea out of these. So I'm just going to grab a few, and it's a great nighttime tonic to have before you go to bed. And it's supposed to be really good as an anti-inflammatory and help a little bit as a sleep aid. But if you're thinking about doing anything like this, always check to make sure it doesn't interfere with any medications you may be on. I only picked a little bit because I don't want to over take. I don't know if I'll be able to get these dried properly, but I'm definitely going to try and use it to make some tea tonic before bed and, have a little midnight potion. I'm going to make some hops tea with the hops that I collected earlier. I'm just going to throw a few of those into my Yeti and let the water steep out the nutrients from them, and then I'll try it for a before bedtime little treat. And this is actually natural spring water that I found by Mount Rainier. I've been carrying around about 10 gallons of it. It's time to drink it. But I am excited to use it for this because it's got the most wonderful flavor. You can taste the minerals in it. And I do drink it through a life straw just to be safe. But the water was crystal clear and pristine. I always throw stuff in the Yeti if it needs to steep, and then I put it through my AeroPress. So I just dump the whole thing in there whenever I'm done making the concoction that I'm going to make, and I just throw it through the AeroPress to strain out all the stuff. It's like a French press, except it's much easier to clean while you're on the road. Y'all, I don't know if I do anything right, but this is how I'm doing it. I'm just going to throw a few hops in here and throw some boiling water on there. And I've got a lot of hops to work with, so I put a good generous portion, probably about 10 hops in there. I don't know if that's enough, but we'll find out. All right, so we've got a good boil going. I went back and I put a few more in here, so there's about 15 hops in here. And we're just gonna put a good amount of water in there since there's so many hops. And we're just gonna let it steep for a little bit. I'm gonna put the little lid back on and just let it sit for about 10 to 15 minutes, and then I'm gonna go back and strain it. All right, to show you guys how to use the AeroPress, it's real simple. It comes with a little stirrer. I usually use it for coffee in the morning, but you just put your little film down in the bottom. So it's similar to a French press, but this helps you get all of this stuff out. But yeah, so you just put it on there, stick it on here. Oh, it smells delicious. I used to drink this stuff called hop tea. Smells wonderful. Hops actually smell good. Okay. I am very excited about this. I cannot wait. The nice thing about the Yeti is you can just steep it very easily in this. Like, it stays very hot in there. All right. And then we're just going to take the little plunger. I'm going to make sure we get every bit of goodness out of this that we can. Ooh, and I calculated that water pretty well. All right. So then this piece is very easy. Oop, it's dripping. Let me leave it here. But then that piece is very easy. I'm just going to set this on the counter. It's from cooking dinner. but I'm just some of the hop sleeves. But I'm just going to show you. I wish there was another way to use these, but I think they're all used up. So all you do is just pop it out like a little hockey puck. And you just wipe it all down, clean it and sanitize it. Good to go. We'll do that later. But here's what I got as far as the tea goes. It's got a really nice color to it. And, you know, put a little honey in there and give it a whirl. So we are doing a different type of episode of I Hope I Don't Die. But this is the hop tea that I just made. I'm going to give it a few sips and see what I think of it. I'm not quite sure yet. Let's oh, that is bitter. It's not bad, it's just not what I was expecting. I guess hops are bitter. I knew that before I made this. Maybe if I lightened up on the hops instead of putting 15 in for this little cup, it'd probably be a little bit better. It seems a bit strong, but it's not bad. I mean, apparently it makes you a little bit sleepy and a little bit drowsy, and you know, it's actually good for your system, and it's an anti-inflammatory. So made a little tonic before bed. I'll drink as much as I can stomach. The flavor grows on you. I'm glad I put honey in there, but it's not terrible. Just not what I was expecting. It's tea, you know, but I'll dry the rest of the hops out and maybe throw in a few instead of 15 and try it that way. I just went all in, you know. That's how I live my life. I just go all in. YOLO. Today was another travel day. I left a very nice, pristine location that was a lake, and there wasn't that much traffic considering it was Labor Day weekend, so I lucked out in finding that spot. There was a pit toilet nearby that was really clean, and I just was super appreciative of this spot because I needed a lot of rest, and you know, it's been really hectic nights. I haven't been sleeping well because I've been in high traffic areas, and it's been exhausting, to be honest with you, but I finally found my spot. I'm so excited. I found a nice spot to spend a day or two or three and rest a little bit. So this is really nice. I'm very grateful and looking forward to getting some much needed R&R in the middle of the woods. Please don't scratch me. Hang on. Ow. In the middle of the woods. Thanks, buddy. He's such a turd. This is why I call him Poops. He's a little... He's a good cat, though. But yeah, so we're just out in the middle of the woods. Thank you. And we're going to enjoy this time tremendously, just being around each other and hanging out, maybe finding a few places to walk. Take Rupert for a nice long walk. He really loves his walks. He turns into a total jerk if he doesn't get them at night. He wakes me up about 20 times at night. So yeah, but anyway, I'm going to sit here and enjoy my tea, and I will see y'all in the morning. But we were so happy to get this spot. So it's going to be a nice, relaxing couple days, and I'm looking forward to it. And I have phone service. That's even better. All right, Poops, move. I had to come back on here to say, after about 3 or 4 sips, the flavor really grows on you. I'm over the bitterness, and it is good. So hopefully I'll get a really restful night, and I will let you guys know in the morning how it all went. You guys make me so happy. I just woke up, had a very restful evening. I think the hops tea actually helped quite a bit, and I feel great this morning, and we are gonna have a day of doing absolutely nothing. It's so much fun. Like, it's fun to do nothing. Why do people always have to do something? I don't get it. But this time of doing nothing has really helped me kind of tap into my creative side a little bit more, and it's made me a little bit more focused on myself and understanding me a lot more. It's almost like meditating quite a bit for a long time, And it's been so good for my mental health. But yeah, we're going to do absolutely nothing today, and it's going to be glorious. No apologies here. As you can see, it's noon and I have not changed out of my pajamas yet because I don't have to. So, the wonderful thing about being able to do nothing, it's brought so much clarity to my life. And um, it's kind of made me realize how made up life is. Every morning, you can get up and you can create something for yourself that is so different and so unique. Is it risky? Yes. Does it have to be a trip like this? No. Is everybody capable of taking a trip like this? I think most of us are in a position to where we could create this type of life for ourselves. But and I understand that there are some people who have, disabilities or, family engagements and stuff like that that prevent them from being able to turn this into a reality for themselves. But I also have seen a lot of families on the road. So you don't have to do this solo either. It is really nice to be able to bring your family along if they're in up for a challenge like this or, something along those lines. But this life that we're in, it's really what you make of it. Even in tough times, I know that I'm going to have to remember these times right now that were so great and so beneficial for my mental health and just bringing new clarity into life and the path that I'm on. And this trip was really necessary for me. Let's be honest. I kind of suck at making YouTube videos. If you look at my first videos, they're awful and they still kind of are, but I'm getting better. And that's the process. It's just like, taking this trip. The first trip I had was a bunch of ugly cries, like those moments of breakdown where you're like, am I going to make it through this? And I persevered and I did. And my third trip was incredible. So it's, you just got to keep trying sometimes. It's not always you jump right into it and it's glorious and it's this dream life. It can be, but you have to make it that way. And you also have to learn how to make it that way because it doesn't just start that way. So if you're thinking about taking a trip like this, just look at your resources, look at what you have, look at how you can leverage those resources because that's what I did, and it's worked for me so far. However, when I get home, I'll have to figure out my job situation. That's all I've got to worry about right now is just figuring out my job when I get home and what I want to do with this life. Working downtown is stressful. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, it's chaotic all the time. When I get out here, it's like, how am I gonna go back to that? Um, but to me, this is the benefit. This is the reward for living in that fast, stressful life to make the money that I do to be able to travel this way. And it's worth it to me. I know that it's a dream for many, but I know that it's also not a lot of people's cup of tea. They look at this lifestyle. I'm a dirty hippie, and I'm okay with that. Like, some people are not okay with that. I'm okay with that. I have so much benefit for myself. I've learned how to love myself that I can show love to other people now. I wasn't doing it properly before, and I just now realized that on this trip. I thought I was happy at times, but I really didn't do a deep dive into myself like I have on this trip, which anybody has the ability to do anywhere, in any place, in any time to give themselves a new perspective. And I'm going to carry that with me throughout the rest of this life when I'm in those moments that I know I can change my attitude and I can change the way that I perceive the reality that's happening to me. And I can make it what I want it to be. And that's it's simple for me. Everything is so simple now. I want that for everyone. I want everybody to feel as good as I feel in this moment. I don't know if I did enough due diligence on telling you guys how difficult it was to make this happen, It's a dream. And dreams, if they were easy, everybody would be living their dream. They're they're not always easy to achieve, but when you achieve them, it's incredible. So, think about your own lives and what you can do differently in your own life today to make yourself feel a little bit better about the situation that you're in. And it's like eating an elephant. You just got to do it one bite at a time. You're not going to be able to eat it all in one day. Okay. And I would never eat an elephant, let's be clear. But you can take little steps in your life to get to something like this. And you can start today. It took me 4 years to have a trip like this. I had two previous trips that weren't as successful. I enjoyed them. I had some amazing experiences. I had my senior dog, and those memories that I created with her will carry me through some really tough times. I'm so grateful for all of that. Even though they weren't as successful as this trip, they weren't failures either because I was learning and I was getting to the point where I could take my dream trip from the experience that I gained from doing my first two trips. All right, back to doing nothing. I'm off my soapbox now. I've found that when you give yourself the freedom to do nothing, it actually inspires you to do something. I started writing again, and it feels really good. I finally put clothes on. I just use my water jugs, give him a long lead, let him be a cat. He's so funny. Not taking the bait, Charlie. Sorry. He's hyper, but he doesn't want to play. It's like a tiger in the bush, just waiting to pounce. Wait for it. Ah, there it is. Good boy. You got it. Charlie, are you jealous now? You guys are so funny. Are you my baby? You are. You're my baby. And I love you. Do you love your mommy? You do. You're so cute. What is this sassy talk that you speak of? Okay, I'll get you something. Is that what you want? You want something. You hustler. Every day out here teaches me something. I'm learning, I'm growing, I'm changing. It's magical. It's, even in the bad moments, it's something new. Charlie loves doing nothing too. All day. Every day. I just started eating lunch, and it's something simple, but just started eating lunch and it started raining, so we're gonna have a rainy inside day today to do nothing, but I'm sure we'll find something to do. We'll do a walk later when it stops raining. The rain finally stopped, and now my kids are snoozing, so I'm probably going to take Charlie for a little bit of a walk here in a bit, and then take Rupert for his walk and make the rounds, make some dinner, and go to bed. And that's a typical day of doing nothing. Now, I don't do nothing all the time while I'm out here. I have the ability to do nothing, but she's tired. She hadn't done anything all day either. We're just a bunch of lazy bums out here, and that's a choice. That's what I get to do because I worked hard for it and didn't stop until I accomplished this goal. And it's not impossible for most. I think the impossible part is trusting yourself to make those decisions that lead you here. And honestly, it's scary as hell. The first time I quit my job, I was like, what am I doing? What am I doing? Seriously, like, what am I doing? I just left a very lucrative position. What if it's not there when I get back? What if I don't get the opportunity to do this again? But if you what if yourself to death, if you are in a position where you could, financially quit your job and support yourself, great, do it. But if you're not in that position, I suggest getting in that position. And it's hard work. It's not an easy, like, oh, I'm just going to go quit my job and travel. No, it was calculated, it was prepared, it was sacrificed to get here. Um, so I just wanted to be clear. I don't want people like upending their entire lives to like jump into something like this. It's great when you're in it, but it is difficult. So, and there's a lot of challenges with this life as well that you have to overcome that Instagram does a terrible job of explaining to people. And, I think people get into this life with a false expectation of what it is. And I love it, but I am one of those people that have to get uncomfortable to be pushed forward. So sometimes I put myself in an uncomfortable position to propel myself forward. And that helps me a lot. Other people have to have security. I am doing the exact opposite. So if you're one of those people that have to have security, this is probably not the right fit of lifestyle because there is no security in this lifestyle. And I thrive in it. And a lot of people don't. So, and a lot of people do. And I don't think it matters which one you are, just as long as you're happy doing what you're doing in life. If you can't do something like this, don't beat yourself up. I think we don't give ourselves enough grace nowadays to allow ourselves to listen. And that's why I love these moments of really just tuning in and tuning everything else out and really just focusing on how do I feel? What do I feel like doing for the day? So if I give myself the freedom to do nothing, I usually find something to do because I'm listening. And now I'm creating some more crappy YouTube videos. So, you know, like, they'll get better, I promise. But right now we're at the beginning stages. So y'all bear with me because this is a new project for me. So, anyway, I really hope this just gave you a little bit more insight into my life, what it's like, how to make some wonderful hop tea, which I slept great with. And then also the benefits of finding those small moments in your everyday life, even if it's 20 minutes to just sit there and do nothing. Go sit in your car during your lunch break. Do nothing except eat. I mean, you might need to do that during your lunch break, but find those moments that just you can meditate and bring yourself into a closer relationship with yourself and listen. What's it telling you? You might open up a new pathway for yourself. And that's also worked well for me, is just listening and listening to what things are being presented to you and be happy. I think being happy with what you have right here in this moment, right now, will change your life. It really will. Because the more appreciative I am, and I know I drive my brother crazy sometimes because I'll be like, I'm grateful. I'm grateful. I'm so grateful. And he's like, would you stop talking about how grateful you are sometimes, because it's consistent and I use that word a lot, but I really am grateful. And it opens up new doors and it opens up pathways and it leads you down different pathways. And if you're listening instead of ignoring and blocking, then you're allowing those gifts that this life is trying to give you, you're allowing them in. And that's what I've worked on so hard on this trip. And now that I've learned it, I want to share it. And I hope that it just brings you some clarity for your own life, and that, you find those moments of joy and you appreciate them a little bit more. That's all. And I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please feel free to like and subscribe. And I hope to see y'all down the road. Have a wonderful rest of your day.